Talented, brilliant, incredible, amazing, show-stopping, spectacular, never the same, totally unique, completely not ever been done before, unafraid to reference or not reference, put it in a blender, shit on it, vomit on it, eat it, give birth to it.
A soundtrack preview for the upcoming Valkyrie Elysium video game just got released, and it's amazing. It's a preview of the first 2 disc soundtracks. The previews were relatively short, but it's still pleasing to hear them. The soundtrack is a nice mix of Valkyrie Profile 1 and the sequel, along with a bit of Nier Automata mixed it in. I was very impressed. It does remind me of a high-budget action movie OST. I'm not much of a fan of the more serious adrenaline-infused soundtracks such as Fighting the Giant Gods and Battle at BL's Ruined City area. I'm not saying they are bad. It is just my own subjective taste coming in, and usually during gameplay I like these action-heavy soundtracks a lot more. There were some that I liked more than others, such as Battle at BL's Grassland area with its smooth piano and flute coming to the foreground with ease. I like the more melodic slow songs that were featured, such as Theme of Elysium, Tradition, Before Birth, and BL's Grassland. One track that I really liked was The Mood, EYBL's Ruined City area. It's so depressing that it made me happy. I know what you are, but I'll explain. It reminded me of that area in VP1, Camille Village. It really is such a depressive, enchanting tone that switches at the last minute with the introduction of the flute, and it does change the atmosphere of the sound to be more akin to the soundtrack that plays when you enter Kithana Plains in Valkyrie Profile 2. It does dramatically change the emotion it wants to portray, a sorrowful but hopeful implication. The one thing I noticed throughout the soundtrack is that the flute is introduced in a lot of songs, along with choir vocals. The choir vocals were not a thing in previous games, but it's used very well to give off the holy persona to the forefront. The choir vocals in the 23rd and 24th soundtrack on the first disc were just perfection incarnate. The second disc comes in with that Mood, EY flute right out the gate on the first track, and the guitar elevates the dopamine rush that was given by the choir vocals. An Unexpected Encounter is a beautiful track that reminds me a bit of the soundtrack in Ardolia, gives off the feeling of a poverty-stricken city that has fallen on hard times. It's very thick yet straightforward. Galba, Big Bridge area came to impress, and it did so effortlessly. Lacarta, Castle Town area reminded me a bit of the early 2000s JRPG feel to it, and I love every second of it. It had its action-packed soundtracks with heavy drums too, like Naglfar, Cypher. Naglfar, Charybdis has its thick vocals and violin, making a quick combination of pure fast passion. There are other amazing soundtracks that I haven't mentioned. These are just the quick ones that came to mind, and I recommend Valkyrie Profile fans take a listens. There are some gems sprinkled in there to tickle your fancy. I know I had promised to review Valkyrie Elysium when it comes out in the past, but I may not anymore, considering the fact that it uses the de novo anti-tamper software. It gives a performance penalty to most of the games that use it, from what I read, and if you couldn't tell, I don't have the fastest PC rig out there. Cries in 720p resolution. I don't want to encourage this behavior, but at the same time, I do want to play this game, but we'll see where this goes. As a reminder, I will be posting a video about Valkyrie Profile 2 very soon. Here's a teaser image to salivate in the meantime. I will also give the link to the preview of the soundtracks below in my description box.